Hey, howdy, folks. It's Anthony with the Eden Mandate LLC, restoring lives one home at a time. Back down here in the basement at Clover Lane. And we are, I would say, like 99.8% done with this project. But we did have a situation where, we've got all new plumbing throughout the house, but the sewer line sat unused for, almost a decade. And so we have all sorts of impediments and things inside the sewer line that runs out to the street that is causing some backups in the house. So thankfully there's been no feces or anything like that in the house, but just to kind of show you what's going on here. As you can see, all new plumbing was done in the house throughout. So we got this nice CPVC pipe going all through the house. However, what was happening is all the lines in the house are clear, but if you see this cast iron sewer line, this line right here runs all the way out and it goes out to the street, right? Connecting to the main sewer line for this particular neighborhood. And unfortunately, with it being, kind of old and not utilized, there's been some blockages in it. So we had JT, Justin Fitzgerald, and also Jay Leonard over here. We ran a snake through this line, two different snakes through this line out to the street. Because what happened is, as the occupants were taking showers and flushing toilets and whatnot and running water, that water was going down and then coming up with some blockage out in the front yard, and then was coming back up, and the water was literally coming back up this pipe, following the pipe up along to the actual wash box, and then water was actually coming out of the wash box. And so we had, several inches of water down here. Still got a little bit down here that we got to get dried up. Thankfully, we've got our new HVAC system down here. And so I opened the vent there and opened the vent over here just to help dry it, which it did a really good job of drying the house. And I came over here and vacuumed up the rest of the water. So this is new water that happened last week. So we've got some guys coming out here to run a jetter, basically a power washer through the pipes outside to make sure that, we don't have this situation for our occupants. Anybody who knows me know that I like to turn over a first class property, turnkey, to make sure people can move in and just live and enjoy their life. And, April and company, her family have been very patient as we work through this situation. We thought that we had flushed the pipes out really good when we were renovating the house, but sometimes things just happen and you have to deal with it. So the topic of this video is sometimes when you're in real estate investing, you also have a trucking business, when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you cannot be afraid to get your own hands dirty, so with trucks, I've been up under a truck before. I've opened up hoods, don't know a lot about what I'm doing, but I'll look it up on YouTube. With real estate investing, man, I've been wading in water down here in this very basement. I was up on top of the roof over at Bergman Street trying to patch a roof a couple of days ago. Sometimes when you're an entrepreneur, man, you got to wear a lot of hats. You're wearing finance. You have to manage your books. What's up, big dog? You got to wear the HR hat. You have to understand what policies and procedures you're going to run your business by and hold other people accountable to. You have to run your own marketing and branding and campaign and things of that sort. You got to run your own advertising. So when you are actually your own boss, everybody thinks it's like, fantastic. You fire your boss and you step out into the game. But just understand that, entrepreneurs will work 80 hours a week to prevent having to work 40. You know what I mean? So I'm literally having to be sometimes my own quasi attorney sometimes, looking things up and all that stuff. So there's a lot of hats that you have to wear when you're an entrepreneur that people just really don't know about. I don't know a lot about plumbing, but I have friends who are plumbers. And so I've had to ask questions. I look at YouTube a lot to figure out different things. Like what I'm about to do right now, I'm going to show you, is this floor drain that is actually connected to this old cement concrete sink, runs and taps into the main sewer line and runs out to the street. All right, so when we had a situation with the water backing up over here, it should have flowed because the basement is angled for the water to flow over here. and then it should go out of this floor drain. But this floor drain was kind of stopped up as well, right? And so we have a sump pump in this basement, but it's not in the most optimal situation, right? So the sump pump is actually over here on this side of the basement, and it works great, but the water was all over here. And since the water, you can kind of tell by the slope, it's designed to slope here. It's designed for any water penetration from there to slope in over here. And it's not really designed for water to flow in this direction over to the sump pump so it gets pumped out of the house. So now that I know that we have a situation with the floor drain, I'm actually going to go, and I have my little auger here, my power spin, I've got my drill, and I am actually going to go ahead and snake this drain myself. All right, so again, I'm not a plumber, but as an entrepreneur, as a real estate investor, as a business owner in general, you're gonna have to do things that you may not want to do or are accustomed to doing or might not even know how to do. And that's perfectly okay, but it's never a bad situation to learn a new skill, learn a new craft, try something new. Like I'm gonna put this snake down here, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that there's nothing that I can do that can't be undone, right? So it's nothing that I can mess up to the point where somebody can't fix. Now, if I do this and it doesn't work, fine, I'll call the plumbers out. But if I can do this myself and fix it, I save myself some significant money. You know what I mean? So again, as a business owner, you'll have to constantly weigh those scenarios on what do I want to try myself versus what do I want to pay a professional to do. There's some things you absolutely cannot shortcut on. So whenever I'm going closing on a property or something like that, I'm not going to do that myself. I'm going to pay a title company. I'm going to pay an attorney to do the things that I am not necessarily comfortable with or professional at. Doing taxes, like I can manage my books, right? So I can manage my books. I can actually do a fairly good job with record keeping and things of that sort. But I'm not going to file my taxes. I'm going to pay a professional to do that because I know they know things that I do not know. They paid and invested a lot of money to stay up on the latest PPP and EIDL and the latest bailout for the government, things of that sort. They know how to write off some things that I don't necessarily know how to write off properly. So I'm going to pay for that. So it's going to be an expense, but at the end of the day, I'm going to write that expense off, and they're going to get more money back from me than I can, right? But something like this, where it's simply, hooking my drill up to this, this snake and then running it down this floor drain, that's something that is not necessarily rocket science. At best, I find the clog and I clear it. At worst, I don't, and I pay somebody to do it. I mean, it's not a big deal. Same thing with going up on the roof earlier this week over at our other property. Right? Best case scenario, I patched it. We survive until next year in 2021 when we have already scheduled for the roof replacement. Worst case scenario, it don't work, and we got to move forward with getting it done a different way. So at any rate, long story short, as an entrepreneur, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to try new things. Keep an open mind. And that's kind of, my topic and lesson for the day. So it is investor season. And exactly, me, I try. At the end of the day, there's a problem. And I always tell people problems happen. When I hire contractors or even with Fahad, when managing this project, mistakes happen, problems happen. I don't really care. Own up to it, confess it, and fix it. That's all I ever care about. So with this situation, I know I have a problem down here in this basement. I've acknowledged that problem, even though I didn't create it. I own the property. So ultimately, the problem is mine. And I am going to attempt to fix it myself. And if it doesn't work, then, obviously, we're going to pay somebody to come in and fix it professionally. But at the end of the day, I'm not afraid to try it. I knew nothing about concrete, right? So we had a situation in the garage where the plaster had faded away over time. And I knew nothing about how to go and make mortar mix or cement mix. I knew nothing about spreading it. I knew nothing about, how to, bond it to the existing wall and all that good stuff. But, thankfully I had Slick here. He taught me how to do it. So I did it. So now next time I have a situation like that, I'll do it myself. You know what I mean? And fix it. So at any rate, I'm gonna set this camera up over here and I'm just gonna get to work, quit talking, because April is gonna be home soon and I would like to get this done. I'm gonna point it down here so y'all can see if anything comes up. But I like for when April comes home to, kind of be in and out, because she works all day long and I want her to be able to enjoy her home when she comes here. Floor drain, remove that, and matter of fact, let's just put it over here in the corner so y'all can see what's going down. I'm gonna set this up, right? Y'all see that drain there? Yep, cool. All right. What's the last thing you said? Drop them gems, Meek Dog. Try to, There we go. So I've never really used this before. Just really pretty much just looked online, looked on the box, but I think if I just push this down, it comes out. And if I retract it, it comes back. So fair enough, we figured that part out. We're just gonna go slow down here. We still do have a little water in here. I should have brought the shot back. All right, so we're down there a little bit. Full power, full steam ahead. All right, so we're down there now. Let's see what we got. All right, so definitely got some crap down there. All right, drain's coming down a little bit, so here we go. Let's get back down there a little bit. Let's pull it out and then just keep working it, So that's really good. So now we're seeing that the water is actually going down a little bit, which is what we want. That's what we really, really want. That's good. That's good news. So let's retract this a little bit more. All right, so that ain't retracted, right? So let's look at our handy dandy instructions and see what's up. All right. So auto feed. Go back down. Let's see where we go. cool. All right, so let's go back down in here. So I'm gonna plunge this a little bit more, and I think we'll have a clear drain. So at least then when the guys come and jet it, we can test it out too. So when they come, so the guys are actually gonna come down here and jet this. Let's see, plumbing work on live TV, brave man. Yeah, man, I just don't, you know what I mean? The thing is, Eddie, it's funny you say that, bro. Like, because I'm not one of these guys who really cares too much about other people's opinion of me, right? So I'm gonna try. I don't know everything. I know that. I mean, my expertise is more so in tech. My expertise is more in negotiating deals, closing them, getting the contract signed, all that kind of stuff. That's my thing. But at the same time, yeah, I'll try something new, and if it don't work, it ain't gonna be because I didn't try. You know what I mean? And you know, if other people kind of look at them like, oh, you should have done this, should have done that. I'm always open to learn, but, you know, all the haters who want to, you know, kind of throw shade one way or the other, I'm just not interested in it. I don't really care about those opinions, man. So, yeah. And to be honest with you, man, I've actually got some really good feedback because of that, man. So a lot of people look at me as kind of like the authentic entrepreneur, where it's just like, yo, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, the really, really good, the really, really great, the highs, and then the super lows that inevitably come. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And let's see who this is, because the phone never stops. Spam caller. So yeah, man. So I will say, you know, my first time using this little, what's it called here? It's actually called a power spin. So this power spin is working pretty good, man. I gotta say, I dig this. I dig this thing. Let's see, did I miss any other comments? All right, y'all. Well, I don't want to bore y'all to tears. I'm about to grab the plunger. I see somebody said try some Drano. This is clogged pretty good, man. So I don't know if Drano is really gonna do the trick or not. But I mean, at the end of the day, it don't hurt nothing to try. So I got some out in the truck. I'm gonna grab some of that, but I'll chime back in once I get this thing cleaned up and cleared out. So thank y'all for watching. It's Anthony with the Eden Mandate LLC, restoring lives one home at a time. Don't forget, it's okay to get your hands dirty from time to time and learn a new skill. So, all right, talk to y'all later. Be blessed.